Yo, welcome to the Choppin It Up podcast featuring your boy Jordan.
What up? It's your boy Eric.
And we back at it. What we got going on today, bro?
We got an album review, bro.
Bro, album review. You said what?
Yeah. We're going to crash talk
on that
through
ScHoolboy
this.
Q. I see what you did there. We're going to crash talk. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
So we're talking about ScHoolboy Q's new project, CrasH Talk.
CrasH Talk.
And so right now, from what we've seen, there's a lot of mixed reviews on this album.
Man, mixed reviews. I've been hearing a lot of trash.
Okay, so so you said you think it's trash talk?
Yes and no. I think, and we'll go into depth about the album.
Yeah.
But Eric knows. Off of my first listen, I was like, yo.
He was not with it.
Not good.
It was just not clicking with you.
It was not good. And so we'll go into detail about the album as a whole, each song, kind of the experience that ScHoolboy Q went through and how we feel about it.
Because we both came out of the first listen completely on different ends.
Different ends. And I was kind of surprised by your thoughts about it. And I think you were by mine too. And
yeah, it was.
But I don't really feel too bad about mine because I've been seeing a lot of reviews about mine,
yeah,
so
man,
we'll go into it.
It's fine if you think it's trash talk.
Hey, look, okay, I'm just saying. So I can't believe that it's been 3 years since he's released.
Bro, ScHoolboy Q. It's the whole TDE fan, man.
They take their time, man.
They just lay low and they work, and then they out of nowhere just come and they change their profile pictures on Instagram and they get everybody hyped, and then they drop the project.
And that's the thing. That's what's cool. They keep you anticipating something
new. Yeah, they
new.
just kind of keep you in the dark about everything.
And we know that 3 years ago he released Blank Face LP, which was an album that was different.
It was definitely so. Just going back to like the album that really put ScHoolboy Q on the map, it was Oxymoron, because of course he had two different projects before that, but Oxymoron really just kind of put him on the radar. Honestly,
it did.
That album was full of bangers. It was like everywhere. It was very like commercially successful, but not critically successful.
I agree. But okay, so for me, Oxymoron was my favorite so far of any of his albums.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to spoil this album, but Oxymoron was an album that I loved. I was in high school listening to it with my homies. I loved it. Blank Face was an album that I'm like, okay. Like, that was my reaction.
It was, to me, I like Oxymoron because of how just, like, in your face and just ruthless and just, like, you know, it's full of bangers.
It is.
And
17 bangers. Yeah, 17 tracks on that.
And so Blank Face is much more of an experimental take on some things, and he's very more direct when it comes to, like, just it's a very rap-centered album. Like, it's shows his skills as an MC, and you know, a lot of people were more like kind of turned away a little bit by it because it was very critically acclaimed. You know, everybody was giving it 8, 9s out of 10s, but it didn't do very well commercially as Oxymoron did.
No, it didn't at all. And so with me, I was expecting some hype with this album, CrasH Talk.
Everybody was hyped about it.
It's been 3 years, man, since we've had some ScHoolboy Q on my phone, new music from him, and of course when he released CrasH Talk single, I remember I'm like, bro, it's a little short, man.
The Num Juice was the first single he dropped, and I remember we listened to it, and I thought it was awesome, but it was very short,
very
and very
short.
like
Excuse me, it was like
Num Juice, 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it was very short. And it kind of had a good feeling to what was going to be coming with the album. But I was like, okay, maybe this is just something that, I can kind of get into. But, man, the album's going to definitely be fire just based on this song, you know?
And then the next single was Chopsticks.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah,
we'll go into this. Let's just get into this, man. Let's get into this, to the album.
It's trash talk.
CrasH Talk. Sorry, little apostrophe. Fix that real quick.
Yeah.
So the album opens up, and it's just like the first thing you hear is CrasH Talk Take 1.
Yeah.
And then he goes straight into a whole lot of blank
just,
gang blank, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this album's about to be fire.
He
started
off
to go in.
He started off on some stuff, bro.
Yeah,
he started off hype.
He was like in your face.
Yeah,
like it was visceral.
I loved it, man. I really did, because it kind of had me, okay, look, we're about to be on a journey with this album. He has to start off on some hype stuff. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
and I felt like I crashed.
What? CrasH talking, so we've watched a lot of interviews with him, kind of just talking about the process of the album, talking about where his mindset was when, he was creating the album. And, of course, we also kind of saw some of the people's takes on the album. And we just kind of, before we even got together, we kind of came up with our own, notes. And so, one of the things that I really loved about the initial listen of it is that it was kind of like different in a sense. Like it was very not traditional to what I had heard from the other two projects. It was almost like a mix of both. It was kind of like a mixed bag almost. Yeah, there were some tracks that I was kind of iffy about on the first listen, and tracks that I was like, this is a highlight on the album. But starting off so hype, and then the next track, it just smoothly transitions out of gang. Is what it was the first track called?
It's called
I can't believe I just blanked out on the first track.
Gang.
Okay, so of course starts off gang, and then it smoothly transitions into Tales, which is really cool. It was something about this album that so one of my friends noticed. Shout out to Dylan. He said that he thinks that every two songs kind of go together, and I kind of see that.
That makes a lot of sense.
In the album, but then you got kind of get those weird moments in it where the songs don't really fit, or they don't fit together.
Here's my thing: this album to me overall had no direction for me.
Yeah, and I totally understand.
It didn't take me anywhere, honestly. And I'm a big fan of ScHoolboy Q. Like, I've always enjoyed his music from the beginning. But this was an album for me that I was confused. I'm like, okay, look, let me listen to it. I listened to it a few times. I text Caroline, look, my first listen was horrible. I didn't like it. It was trash. Like, it was trash talk for real. I listened to it again. It's starting to grow on me, but I feel like it's going to take me a long time to really enjoy it, if ever. Because it just had no direction, bro. Like, Gang was cool. Tales was cool. Like, it was kind of like a roller coaster for me, bro. But like, I wasn't hype on the roller coaster, if that makes any sense.
I got you.
Like, and so that was kind of my struggle. Like, I'm like, where is Q taking this? I know he's taking us through a journey like he normally does, and we know that he's very successful now with his rap career. But it's like, I don't know his direction. I don't know where he was taking us. So that's why I was so confused, and I still am. To be honest.
And just kind of listening to his interviews and stuff like that on his little press tour for the album and everything. He, of course, like every album that he does, he kind of kills off that almost like persona that he has with that album. Yeah. So like, with this one, he's a new persona taking on a new different thing. Yeah. You can kind of see where, because he does talk about how there was multiple times that he recorded the album, and I believe it was 3 in total that he went through with the album. Yeah. And he talks about how, at first the album was really kind of sad and kind of melancholic, and like, going through the things he was going through, with Mac's passing, he was very close to Mac and Mac Miller. And, unfortunately, there was nothing he could really do, and, he was kind of cope with it. And, you can just kind of see where some of that kind of bleeds through on some of the tracks. For sure. But, of course, he scrapped that idea of an album being too sad, and he was talking about how he's tired of sad music being kind of the sound right now, and being what's prevalent, and, how he's tired of sad people listening to sad music.
Absolutely. It doesn't help.
And
it doesn't help at all.
And so he said, he wanted to make something that, that he's happy, people are happy to listen to, that kind of lifts your spirit. And so you kind of see that in the different tracks. You almost kind of go through this roller coaster of emotions of like, this song's really high, and then this song's kind of low. Yeah. So like, you know, just even in the first 2 tracks, you go through this really high with Gang Gang, and it's like hype, it's visceral, it's angry, it's in your face, and then it kind of tones it down and gets to tells.
Yeah, he also talks about too that he really was in a dark place in this process.
Yeah.
Just a lot of stress in the tedious process of creating an album. But I think people will be surprised by what helped him. Do you know what helped him in this process?
Yes, golf.
Golf helped him during this process.
Golf, like GOLF.
Bro, look, I feel like
he's a golfer.
Yeah, I feel like thank you. I feel like nowadays people kind of still kind of like
scoff at.
Yeah, because golf is like, it's like that kind of sport. Like, bro, people are enjoying golf. I've noticed fun,
there's like this weird resurgence of golf in our generation and like people a little bit older than us. You know, all the like for some reason golf is coming back.
Bro, look. I used to get fired up for playing golf when I was younger.
I would fire you up.
And I still play golf to this day, and people are like, golf, like, you just playing golf. Like, bro, golf I take it sometimes seriously, but I love golf. I've been playing since I was a little kid. But I think people are really starting to realize that golf is just, like, it's something that you can do for fun. Like, you just have a good time.
Yeah, it's a good
bring your buddies. You can be trash, you can be horrible, but it really helps you. So I'm not trying to get on a golf tangent, but I want to let people know golf is not trash. Celebrities, rappers are actually playing
ScHoolboy
golf.
Q, like
out of all people, ScHoolboy Q play golf.
ScHoolboy Q, the Crip, who's like, you know, he's a scary dude to a lot of people.
Have you seen his GQ magazine shoot?
Yeah, it's all golf related.
My dog got a tireless golf club with him, bro. While he's laying on the golf course on the golf green. If y'all haven't looked at that, check it out because you're gonna be
he got fired up by Tyler the Creator and ASAP Rocky and everybody. They were on his head. I was kind of surprised. I'm like, this is really ScHoolboy Q, but hey, he's on this journey. It's really cool though, man. Yeah, it's really cool that he found an outlet that, you know, he's allowed to kind of forget about everything else and just kind of relax. And apparently he golfs every single day.
He golfs 5 to 6 times a week.
Yeah, as a way to kind of just release some stress, kind of get out there. And also it was a big step for him to get physically active.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight.
And I think he also talked about how that is a big thing that also was kind of keep him depressed, is that being shut in all day and being in the studio all day and doing just that of like going to the studio, going home, and that was it. Yeah. And him being able to go out and golf really kind of motivated his spirits and brought him to a different place.
I wish I could live that life, man. Just go to the studio, go home, you know what I'm saying, play a little golf here and there. Like,
man, that's nice, right?
But, he even said that he came up with really half of his new album just by playing. Like, he had so many ideas while he was playing for really a good majority of that album. And so that was definitely like his process, just really just kind of being relaxed, really enjoying his time, and really just playing golf to help him create.
And just
which is awesome.
And, you know, he talks about how he really pandered in the last 2 albums to everybody else. Like, you know, with Oxymoron and with Blank Face, you know, he was trying to just give what the people wanted. Yep. And with this one, you know, he really came in and tried to be making an album where it was more for him, more of him just doing what he wanted to do, and that was it.
Yeah, I agree. And so, you know, I think this album was a part where this is like a chapter in his life when he's really starting to find, he's already found success as a rapper.
Yeah, I think this, to me, what I keep going back to is I think this album is almost like a transition piece for him into a different era of ScHoolboy Q. Just the way that he's kind of like, he played with some ideas and not very deep in, like, you know, different ideas in rap. Like,
for sure,
you know, he's very much into the boom bap, like Nas. That's his favorite rapper.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of that in his music, but you know, you can see even in the song with YG and Ty Dolla $ign, it was very like West Coast, very like, you know, like just melodic and different from what, you know, you're used to. Because I honestly, that is not a song that I would have pictured ScHoolboy Q being a ScHoolboy Q song.
No, I don't want to, and this kind of just crossed my head just now, but I'm like, I hope, you know, I feel like that could have been a song that the label's like, okay, we need you to have a hit or a song like this, that kind of like that, like party
a radio hit.
And honestly, and I was telling Eric this too, I was like, look, this could have been a really good single. Like, if he would have released this, maybe his first or second single, I think it could have had some serious radio play or just Billboard chart like recognition. But I think that song with Ty Dolla $ign and NYG would have been a really good song for him to release. But everything happens for a reason, and I can see why he released Num Num Juice and everything else.
And Chopsticks.
But it's just like I'm keep going back. I don't want to be that person that's just negative about everything. But man, when I tell you I tried and I'm still trying my hardest to really enjoy this album, I just can't. And I just think that this is just that album for me that I just probably won't like going forward.
And that's okay. You know, it's
that's
not
just me.
It's something that we try to pride ourselves on this podcast is to be honest and
for sure.
Just 100 with you guys. And we're gonna have our own opinions. We might not even have the same opinion, but we're gonna still talk and speak our truth. So and that's totally cool, man. If the album doesn't click with you, it just doesn't click with you.
Right.
And so, but kind of going more in depth about it, there's just some songs where ScHoolboy Q, so on the first one, it's of course talking about his life as someone in the hood, someone that his status.
On Tales, he had more talking about his just picturing his street life, like what
exactly.
It was like. Which was interesting to see.
Yeah, he kind of goes in a little bit and kind of lets us know about some of the thing. He reflects back on his past, almost this gangster lifestyle that he lived, and its grave repercussions that it's had on him and his mental state, and seeing the different things happen. Losing family, losing friends, losing all that, and so he kind of bleeds through. And he shows a really personal side on some tracks, but I just don't feel like, and I keep going back to this, I don't think he explored those things deep enough. I feel like it was kind of very almost like he tried and then he kind of backed off.
So are you saying like he didn't really explore, like he didn't really talk about his life stories enough? Is that what you're saying?
Kind of like he didn't reach deep enough into his emotions and kind of really displayed and got really personal, really deep about things.
He gave us a snippet of his life.
He kind of does in some tracks. He does kind of let us know. I mean, even on the song, we'll skip a couple of songs here when he goes into Dangerous with Kid Cudi. He talks about the repercussions of addiction and drugs and the things that come with that, and it's something that him dealing with the death of Mac Miller, I feel like it kind of influenced the song a little bit, but also his personal experiences of his own drug addictions, and he even talks about how he was on Oxy whenever he did Oxymoron.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
And so
that's crazy.
And so that's, him talking about them, getting past that. And it kind of just, I wish that he would have gotten a little bit deeper, because on some of these tracks, the verses are too short, or he kind of just is very surface with what he lets people in on.
Yeah, and then he goes to a song like Chopsticks, and you're just like, what happened?
Yeah.
What's going on, And again, I think Chopsticks was that song to where, again, it could have been another radio single, and I personally, I actually liked it at first. I was like, low-key, this kind of bumps, you know what I'm saying?
Man, if you like that song, just say you like that song. Why are you lying?
No, I mean, I did. Like, I do. I do like that song. But for me, when I listen to a song first, I listen to the beat at first. Then I listen to the lyrics. I'm like, okay, you knew this was going to be a Travis Scott feature when you heard that beat first starting at the beginning of the song.
Yeah, so to me, Chopsticks is my least favorite track on the album.
Chopsticks,
just because I felt like it was like, man.
Yeah,
it was I felt like there could have been more. He didn't, the Travis Scott feature was very just like,
yeah.
Like I felt like there could have been more. It almost felt like a throwaway hook that Travis Scott did for Astroworld.
Yeah, exactly.
And it literally feels like a track that would have been on Astroworld.
Yeah, like a throwaway track. Oh,
and,
yeah.
I don't know, and that's what I have. But I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad, because I still listen to it. I still bob my head, but I feel like it could have been better.
So personally, how do you feel about Num Num Juice when you first heard it? When we first heard it, I was like, okay, it's short, yes, but do you think that was a good single for him?
I do think.
Really?
I think it kind of because for one, it's very reminiscent of ScHoolboy Q's like track record of it being like a grisly and menacing song of like in your face, like ScHoolboy Q is back to the rap game kind of thing. And even on the song, he says like he has lines like coins up, bars up, ready to hop out and shoot ops like a jack in a box, and kind of just giving a metaphor of like he's gonna come in and he's ready to kill the rap game. And so I was like, when I first heard it, I was like, dang, this is fire. Like, he's going in. He's like just spitting.
Yeah, he's just going crazy.
But the thing, it was short. It was short. And I was like, maybe I'm not getting the full picture because it's not in the context of the album yet.
I needed more. But no, it caught my attention. For sure. It caught my attention immediately. I'm like, okay, look. Q is on his grind right now.
The production on it, like, it's just like gritty and just like
yeah, I agree. And then when we go from Num Num Juice to Drunk, I don't like this song.
Yeah, he does not like this song. I remember he was like, I hate it.
When it first started, it kind of had some strings and some jazzy feel to it, and I heard the drunk part with the lyrics in the background. I'm like, nope, I'm done. I can't do it. I literally could. I just stopped the song. I just went next. I'm picky, bro. I don't play though.
Honestly, I started to really like this song.
Man, please.
Like, I really did, and it's just because of how
for real.
Like syrupy and just like just kind of like you just I don't know. To me, I feel like he got that across of like he was trying to give you the impression that you are inebriated kind of, and it kind of feels this way, like you're kind of like
drunk for real,
going through this lull kind of thing. And it's his first collab with Black, and of course when Black comes on any track, it's gonna be super
Black knew better than me on this
super syrupy and super smooth and super like low key.
Don't put syrup in the mix of this. I love syrup, okay? It's not syrupy, it's trasapy.
No, it's okay.
No, I get what you're saying though.
So like that's what I felt like. It was kind of introspective to Q. He was kind of reflecting on the passing of his grandmother on the song, how the emotions are weighing on him really heavily, and it kind of makes him feel like he's drunk almost.
Okay.
Where it's that's kind of the feel of the song.
Yeah. Okay.
And so like I get it. I understand where the song was coming from. The production of it almost sounded like something that Black could have put out on some project. And
Absolutely.
Something that's prevalent throughout the whole project is that whatever feature is on the project influenced the song somehow.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the song with Black, it's very lull, it's very like melodic, it's very low key,
very
and
laid back for sure.
Something that Black would put out himself.
Yeah.
And
so next we got Lies featuring Ty Dolla $ign,
bro,
and YG.
So at the first listen, I was like, I don't know if I like this song.
Yeah, it grows.
But the more that you listen to it, oh man, it's a fun song. It just gets me moving. Like I just get into it.
This would have been the perfect single.
It's a great summer track.
It is.
It just
my bad.
No, you good. Keep going.
Anytime you have, I don't know if you listen to many Ty Dolla $ign songs.
Yeah.
Do you? Okay. Normally, when you have Ty Dolla $ign as a feature, and he does a lot of features, by the way.
I love his features.
He always has his hooks, his verses, like he's always fire. So when I saw it, I was kind of surprised. I'm like, okay, ScHoolboy Q.
Which is funny because his projects by himself are not that good, but his features are fire.
That's probably one of the realest things you've ever said. Not saying like everything has been like not real, but that was
like,
one of like that.
All
was,
I'm saying is Ty Dolla $ign's features.
That's 100% agree with that.
He just needs to do that. He just needs to feature on.
Which is frustrating for me.
DJ Khaled, that thing.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Like, which is frustrating for me because, and I don't want to get into a Ty Dolla $ign like
rant
episode,
kind of thing,
but real quick though, because we probably won't be doing a Ty Dolla $ign review. We might. I don't know.
Probably never.
But his features are always amazing. Like always amazing.
Bring something really good to the table.
Exactly. So when I saw that he was featured on ScHoolboy Q's album, I'm like, okay, look. Immediately, I know it's gonna be fire. Hopefully it is, and it was. but his albums are trash. So that's just a little quick note that you guys can either fire us up about.
Y'all know for a fact that we're not.
And I love Ty Dolla
I know y'all feel the same way because when are y'all ever talking about Ty Dolla $ign albums?
We might have to come back to this.
So but y'all talking about the features.
For real.
Right, so
yeah, but I did love this song. I think it's a great summer song.
It's a fun party song, man. And YG just comes in. He does his thing where YG. He's gonna be super thugged out. He's just gonna do his thing.
Yeah, and so I love this track. I think it was one of those songs. I'm like, okay, look, finally, bro, I got over some of the songs I didn't like. Something that kind of got me hyped, and I felt really good about it. But at the same time, once the song ended and we go into 5200, that was when I was like, we're back to reality.
And I think it's because I think another reason that you also might not be clicking with this album is because I feel like you also are more into R&B, soulful, very melodic things.
Okay, so
right? Am I wrong?
You're okay.
Am I on it a little bit?
You're on it, but let's not. I don't want to. And that's the thing, though.
Are you?
Because I tell myself,
like the boom bap,
No, I really do love the boom bap, bro. I really do.
Because I think that's my because look, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100. The production on this album is not that great. I'll keep it 100.
That's what I'm saying, bro. If it was on point, I would have loved it. Just because I love R&B, jazz, soul,
I know,
neo soul, all that. That's cool. I love it. But I love a lot of hip hop rap albums that are kind of like this, but better than this, and I love it. This album is not good, bro.
All right, I'm gonna defend this album all day just because I like it. I don't know. I don't know why I like it so much. I like the story. I like ScHoolboy Q kind of doing his own thing, and maybe I just like that ScHoolboy Q is happy.
No, he is, and that's why I'm very sympathetic about it because I want to like the album. I really do.
And it's okay if you don't, though.
Man,
at the end of the day,
I'm just trying to let people know, look, this is ScHoolboy Q's album that don't pinpoint him on this album.
Okay, whenever you want to listen to ScHoolboy Q,
don't listen to this
if
album.
You're gonna introduce someone to ScHoolboy Q, maybe show them Oxymoron, and then maybe introduce Blank Face.
Habits and the Contradictions as well.
You can do that,
but don't listen to this
one. But
don't do it.
Okay, so all right, so going back to Lies, just going back to the whole melodic thing. Okay, so I don't think that ScHoolboy Q would. I would have ever thought that he would have been on such a kind of vibey, kind of West Coast almost sounding song just because of his other songs. They haven't been that very G-funk-ish kind of inspired tracks. They've been very boom bappy, very aggressive tracks.
Have you heard Studio by ScHoolboy Q? I've been sitting in the studio trying to get to you, baby.
Yeah, but
that's that song, bro. That's what we need from ScHoolboy Q. Is something like that. When he put that song out, I was hyped.
Okay, look, all I know is that ScHoolboy Q did his best on this.
He did
on this album.
And
okay, I think also maybe it's just me being empathetic towards his situation and having the empathy of man, maybe he put all out that he had at the time.
He did, yeah.
On this album. But anyway, so Ty Dolla $ign, YG, Lies.
Perfect, I love it.
It's such a good song.
Loved it.
But going on to 5200, you go back into the whole it's aggressive. It's a banger.
Yeah, very aggressive.
It's just in your face kind of thing. And I think, to me, it was just kind of it was.
It's just one of those songs.
It was, kind of just, it really didn't I feel like the direction on the song was just another I'm going to be braggadocious kind of thing. And so maybe that was one of the, the lesser moments in the album. But kind of moving on from 5200, we have some Black Folk, which I really am coming to love so much.
That's a good song. And of course, he was really talking about, hence Black Folk. He was talking about his experience as a black man in America. And we all know, obviously, what's going on in America with black men. But I think this was a song that I really did enjoy because it kind of kept me woke in a sense, and it kind of made me realize, okay, look, what ScHoolboy Q is saying is some real stuff.
Yeah.
Not like he hasn't said any real things in the album, but he definitely caught my attention with Black Folk for sure.
Yeah, and I love the feel of the track. I like the production on it. That's one of the moments for me that the production is a very much of a highlight on it. The beat almost feels like something off from the song that was taken away from the story of OJ, that Jay-Z track.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels almost like that, and I really love that like jazzy boom bap feel.
For sure.
So that's why I really love that like lo-fi almost feel to it. But other than that, I thought it was a great track on the album. And so moving on from that, of course, he goes away from the slowed kind of, lo-fi thing to a more menacing trap banger with very much of an influence of 21 Savage as he is featured on the song.
Look. I don't like 21 Savage, just putting it out there. But when I heard this, the beat immediately had my shoulder like, oh. But then I was like, wait, hold on. 21 Savage is on that song, so stop. But I was like, oh. But I'm like, and then you listen to it again, you're like, okay, all right, come on, man. This is like an old 21 Savage song that ScHoolboy Q found in the rough. Like, it's just,
it's menacing.
Yeah.
It's aggressive. Yeah. It's in your face. But at the same time, I'm just like, this almost feels like the old 21 Savage.
It does, bro.
Like before A Lot came out kind of thing. And like, it felt like it was dated. The beat felt dated almost a little bit. But, it's still aggressive. It still gets you amped.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess when you're already kind of feeling like, and then you have 21 Savage that you don't like.
It already makes you feel like,
So I don't know. If you go back and listen to it, it's gonna be one of those songs where it's just like, it's gonna be a trap banger. So what you expect from a trap banger.
And then we go from Floating to Dangerous, and that's a song with Kid Cudi, which, okay, I feel like I'm being negative, bro. I'm not the biggest fan of Kid Cudi. I respect his music.
You're not a fan of Kid Cudi? This is news to me.
I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not a fan. I like Kid Cudi. I don't really listen to his music.
Y'all heard it here first.
But I liked it. I liked this song. I really did. I actually really liked this song. Just his experiences of what he was going through.
Yeah.
Living a dangerous life, really, just being honest.
Yeah, I mean, the title says it all.
The title is definitely what he was going through, and he experienced a lot in this time,
Yeah, no, of course, with the production on the song, it's very reminiscent to Kid Cudi tracks, where you've come to know and you come to love Kid Cudi's crooning and like his humming and his his hooks always come into clutch, and it's just a song, Q reflecting on the addictions.
Yeah.
That he's overcome, the experiences with drugs and how dangerous those circumstances can be. And I really do feel like it also played the thing that played a part in this song is Mac Miller's passing. And, he passed away because of a drug overdose. And unfortunately, that's the case for a lot of people in the business and stuff like that. And I felt like it's one of those moments where he really got personal for a bit.
He did.
So and that's what I love. I was like so looking for that.
Yeah.
That was something that I was looking forward to on this album is, kind of seeing his experiences, him going through this and mourning Mac Miller maybe a certain way.
Yeah. And I feel like too on the latter part of the album, I felt like he was more personal about his life, about his experiences. I think in the beginning, of course, there were some songs that were kind of personal, but it was more just hyped.
Just braggadocious.
Yeah,
just kind of,
fun. Chopsticks was fun, and then Lies was fun. But I think in the second half of the album, he was more serious, more just being honest about a lot of things. And that was pretty cool to listen.
Yeah.
So, and then next we have Die With Him. I think, again, another song that, again, just kind of continuing his path and his story about his experience in his life.
Yeah.
Just like Dangerous, but I think he continued that. And Die With Him is definitely another, just a title that really kind of explains what he went through.
Yeah, and, it's another look into Q's life on the streets, the hood mentality, having all that, and, having those experiences, how it has affected his personal life after, you know, the fact that he's kind of been out of the game, no longer, you know, doing all this stuff. Yeah. And so, and then we go into my favorite track of the album. My all-time favorite track of the album is CrasH.
CrasH is a good song, bro. I love that beat.
Man, it is so fire, man.
I love that beat, bro.
I think it's the biggest highlight in the album. You know, it's where Q, to me, I feel like he's the most transparent with the listener. You know, and he shines through with, you know, the most meaningful verses on it. I feel like where he discusses his life as a father and the struggles of him being famous now.
Yeah.
And I just love the production, the lo-fi beat. It just comes in, man, and it just grabs me.
That beat's fire, bro. No, CrasH is it's a really good song.
If you really like, to me, like if you're really into lo-fi, like lo-fi chill hop, all that stuff, you're gonna love this track.
Yeah, CrasH is a good song. I think it's a song that people need to listen to. And
it's a very personal song that he did.
It's gonna he definitely, you know, talks about some real stuff. But CrasH it's a great song that I was like, okay, cool. Now we're on a little bit of momentum with these back-to-back songs that really just kind of keeping my attention. And then we go to a more upbeat song.
Your favorite track, right?
With Water.
I got that water.
Okay, look. Again, another artist that I just don't really care for, Lil Baby.
I honestly I don't think I've ever heard of a Lil Baby song ever.
I have, but it's just not my type. You know?
All I know is that it was influenced by Lil Baby somehow.
Yeah, and
just because that's what the whole album. Whenever there's a feature, it's been influenced by the feature.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so you can tell, like, okay, look, this beat is like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. But you can tell, like, Lil Baby was like just hyped to be. He was like excited to be on the song. You can just hear it.
It was his best verse, apparently. I haven't listened to anything else by him, so what other people have been saying is
low key. I was like, okay, all right,
you would know.
I'll have to give him some credit because this was a good song. A great verse. The beat was fire. This is one of my favorite songs, surprisingly, because I don't really like songs like this. Yeah. But it caught my attention, and I really do actually like it. So it might be some surprise to some people. I know some people don't like the song.
Yeah, I mean, I just, the song, to me, has the most colorful production on the album. It has that, like, really booming 808, laced throughout the track, and it just... Yeah, I mean, if it was good, like, it's a crazy track.
It's on fire. That'd be fire.
Straight banger. If you want something that's gonna get you hyped, listen to Water.
And so last but not least, we have Attention,
which to me is probably my number 2 track.
I love that beat, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that beat, and I think that's a good song that he ended with. I think he really is trying to make sure that he's keeping our attention. I think, and not trying to say that's what he's trying to do, but
the song title makes sense.
The song title makes sense, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he really wants to leave us with just our attention for what's going forward. Yeah. And I'm still gonna have my attention focused on Q, but come on, man, next time, bro, do better on this one.
I think this song title also can be like almost like a double entendre almost too, because it's like he's talking about, hey, like, pay attention to this, but also like, hey, this is what I've kind of been going through with attention. Like, now that I'm famous, listen to some of the stuff that I've gotten to do.
Absolutely.
And so, he talks about, how he's gotten praises from his favorite rapper, which is Nas, saying, he's one of the greatest, and also getting to work with his favorite producer and becoming friends with these people. Yeah. That he looked up to, kind of like, Jay-Z, giving him props. He's just one of the lines he says, I don't care about the awards. I'm just, I'm happy that they even know my name. Yeah. Getting to work with Dr. Dre.
That's real, yeah.
And just kind of getting introspective on his life decisions and, his how he got involved with gangs and street life and how that affected his mentality now.
Yeah.
He kind of does, after the beginning portion of the song, he does get into a story mode where he talks about, hey, this is what happened. I did this, and this is what the outcome was. Mm-hmm. And I just think that's crazy how he kind of just laced all that together on a track and just kind of gave us this package.
Yeah, he gave us the full package, bro. And I think he left us with a song that is like, look, I'm just happy to be here.
That's such a great way to put that.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm thankful for just the opportunity to do what I love, and I think that was a great way for him to really end this project, just because, look, I wasn't a big fan of it, but he left us with something like, you know what, look, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to enjoy life. He's been through a lot. He's experienced a lot. And I think that he's now getting to a place where he's happy. I remember saying that he's repeatedly said that he's just like the happy he has been with his album.
With his album release.
And releasing the album. And like he's felt so good about that. And so I give all my props to him. Like, look, he doesn't care. I mean, of course he cares about his fans, but I think that he's just wanting to be happy. He's just happy to be in a situation where he can release music and record and have a good time and enjoy life. And so I think he left us with a project that's interesting, but I think going forward, man, it's the future is bright for Q, man.
Yeah, definitely. Him being part of such a versatile crew as TDE and being just in that circle alone, like you were destined for greatness just because of the people around you.
Absolutely.
And so, like, I definitely feel like, this album might not be such a great highlight in his discography, but I feel like it's a great stepping stone for whatever we have coming next from ScHoolboy Q.
Yeah, like I said, the future is bright, man. I really do think that Q is going to continue to put out great music. I have no doubt about it. I think this is one of those albums where he's learning to find himself. He's learning to find his sound, but also personally himself. And so, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the album, going forward, man, I think he's gonna really just continue to carry the momentum.
Yeah. So, what do you rate it?
I rated it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. I had it at a 6 for a little while, and it was at a 6.5. And I was like, you know what? This album is not bad. It's a great album. It's good. It's not great, but it's good. But I think that there's still just it's not an album
lacking.
Yeah, it's not an album that I'm gonna listen to a lot going forward. It'll probably be like, oh, this is on my playlist. Let me just.
I forgot I had this album in my library.
Yeah, and so I hate to say that, but it's 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's not the case for me. I've legitly listened to this album at least 30 times.
Wow.
And I kid you not, I have legit forwards, like all the way through, like I've just listened to it and listened to it and listened to it.
Props, man.
Just because I really wanted to soak the album in and make sure that I'm like just not coming in like, oh, just whatever, Yeah. And but the more I listen to it, the more that I'm finding new things. I'm seeing different aspects to it that I didn't see before and listened before. And to me, it's a solid 8.
It's not bad.
Solid 8.
It's not bad.
I mean, it's not perfect. Definitely not a perfect album.
No.
I do totally understand the whole thing of like you don't know where the direction was that he was going. Kind of what was
Just
the
going
kind of
on.
idea,
Yeah.
but I see why, because him having recorded it 3 times over and 3 different types of sounds that he was trying to go for.
Yeah.
I understand, you kind of you might lose a direction of where you're kind of taking it. So
Exactly.
8 out of 10 for me.
It's not bad.
I'll keep listening to it. Maybe it'll go down, maybe it'll go up. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll probably go down for me over time. But yeah, I mean, I've seen worse reviews. I've seen horrible reviews. I've seen good ones.
People
too.
have been firing this album up.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I don't want to just bash the album. I'm not trying to do that. But again, there's just always there's gonna always be album.
We're just gonna be honest about it.
But the thing is too that there's gonna always be an album that we just don't like as much as other albums.
Yeah, for sure.
There's gonna always be one or two that it's just like, you know what I'm saying? And so this is just one of those albums. Every album that he's put out, Blank Place was okay for me, but every album that he's put out has always been pretty good. And so I think this is just one of those albums where we just like, you know what? It's not his best, but he's definitely gonna put out some more bangers next year or whenever. So hopefully it's not 3 years again, but it could be. Who knows?
TDE, so probably another 2 years.
And so, yeah, man, I enjoyed my listen through it, but at the same time,
It kind of missed the mark for you.
Exactly. And
All right, so I mean that's cool.
No shots.
We're excited where ScHoolboy Q is gonna take this
Absolutely.
next. We're praying for him to, stay healthy mentally and physically.
Yeah,
he continues
for sure.
to golf.
Happiness, man. Yeah, man.
We would just hope that he stays happy.
Sorry, I had to Tiger Woods on him. Tiger Hoods on him.
Tiger what?
Tiger Hoods. You never heard that before? Oh, man, I just started the movement over here.
All right.
Tiger Hoods, y'all.
And so thanks for checking out the podcast.
Yes.
Thanks for checking out this album review. We're going to continue to keep doing these.
And let us know what you think about the album. Did you like
for
it?
sure.
Did you love it? Was it okay? Was it trash? Was it trash talk? Like, let us know.
It was CrasH talk.
What you know, let us know what you think so that we can just kind of see what everybody else thought about it. So,
and also give us, suggestions. What album do you want us to review or listen to?
There's a lot of music out here, man.
Is there a genre of music that you want us to
We're down for anything.
To review or react to.
Except metal.
We're going to react. Next episode, I'm introducing Jordan into metal.
Man, you be pissed.
Well, all right, catch you guys next time.
All right, guys.
Peace.